Women experience too many injuries from intimate partner violence each year. I just had a procedure at the hospital. I was laying there, and the nurse was taking information from me, and she said, any domestic violence? And I looked at her, and I said, good for you. And she said, what do you mean? I said, you're actually assessing for it. You're actually asking women, have they experienced it? I said, that's a good thing. You're giving them the opportunity to say, in a safe environment, yes, this is happening to me. And I was excited about it, because women go to the ER, and oftentimes they've been beat up, and people don't ask about it. The doctors know what's going on. They know. Mrs. So-and-so has come in every month for a busted lip. I sew her up every month. Somewhere along the line, you should ask the question, what's going on? So the reality is that women show up in ERs all the time, being beaten up. Okay. This is really interesting. Women who've experienced domestic violence are 80% more likely to have a stroke, 70% more likely to have heart disease, 60% more likely to have asthma, and 70% more likely to drink heavily. Being beaten up increases your chance of a heart attack, a stroke, drinking alcohol, using drugs. Just think about that. And the drug use actually makes sense. Why? What do you think? Please? Coping mechanism. I don't feel good about myself. I don't like myself. The person I'm in love with is always tearing me down, right? Okay. I'm afraid to leave. I can't tell my mom. I can't tell the people in the church because I'm ashamed of it, right? I can't tell anybody about it. I can't tell my friends about it. I can't tell anybody about it, right? So guess what happens? I self-medicate. It gets rid of my pain, right? It gets rid of some of the depression for the moment. It actually helps me to cope through the day. But I just created another problem now because I'm using drugs as well now. On top of all the negative thoughts I have about myself. And I'm also tearing down my body, which is the temple of God. Okay. Lastly, this blew me out of the water. Since 2003, just over 4,000 American soldiers have been killed in the war. 4,000 soldiers in the war. In that same time frame, we've had 6,000 women killed at home.
Wow.
It is safer for one of your daughters to enlist in the service, go to the war over in Iraq, than it is for her to stay in the United States. I want you to think about that. She can strap on a rifle, go over to the war, and she's more likely to come home than she is if she goes home to her house on Friday night. We've lost more women to domestic violence than we have to men in the war. Now I'll scare you. Now I'll scare you. And what's that do with regard to your concept and your value of womanhood? We don't ever want to really talk about that. Okay.